What's the deal, y'all? Welcome back to the channel. I am Juju. I hope y'all peeped that last little story time I posted. Cause this one gonna be about that same little dude, the same little situation. I told y'all I got like very minimal crash out stories, but the ones that I do have, now I can look back at them and laugh, and they're crazy. Like, I don't condone that it's behavior, but it's an experience that I have, and it's shaped and molded me into the woman that I am today. And once again, these things were BC, before Christ. I would never do them now. And if a man takes you to these levels, ladies, leave him where he had you messed up at. If y'all heard motorcycles or whatever passing by, I am in like literally bumper to bumper traffic. So no, I'm not driving and being dangerous or whatever. It's literally at a standstill. And it has been this way for about an hour. So, because it's rush hour and I'm on my way home. But anyways, I digress. This story time is going to be about that same dude, like I said. And this story time is about that one time I allegedly vandalized his car. Right? So, once again, this took place probably about 7 years ago. I think we were off at this time because I think I had hit him up because I had missed him. I was missing him. We hadn't talked in like a month or whatever, right? And for me, I don't do the whole, like, once I'm with you, like, I love you until I don't love you no more. So a month is like no time for me to be like, find somebody else and all that, right? So I had hit him up, I missed him, whatever. We're talking, we're having a conversation. During that conversation, he asked me, and the dudes that I've been messing with, they know how I am. Like, I don't dibble and dab. I don't talk to multiple people at one time. I don't have a roster, never have. Like, I don't do all that. So for me, he was my only one still, right? He had asked me a question, and the question was like, oh, have you been with anybody else since me, right? And I'm like, no, why would you ask me that? But of course he asked me that because I think he wanted to, I don't know if his intention was to try to like get back at me for something, or if it was just simply to make me mad, or whatever the case was, right? So he asked me, oh, have you been with anybody else since me? I'm like, no, why would you ask me that? So of course the follow-up question is, have you? He goes, yeah, I have. And I'm like, when I tell y'all, I'm laying in bed as it was already. I'm laying in bed. My heart fell to my feet. I'm like, you have? You've moved on? Like, what the heck? You moved on from me? Oh, brother. You done it this time, right? And so, immediately, when he told me that, like I said, I was laying in bed. I had got up immediately. Back then, like I said, I moved off impulse. So, what I felt at that moment was what we was doing. This time, my impulse was telling me, go F up his car, right? Because you got me messed up. You done moved on from me? You got me messed up, right? And I know people going to be like, oh, yeah, I wasn't even together, whatever. A month is not long enough for you to move on and be in a whole nother relationship when you was so deeply in love with somebody else. That's just not how that goes. Like, either the person was there before, or or they're using the other person to get over you, right? So whatever the case was, it was still wrong. Right, and I hadn't moved on, so yeah. So yeah, when he told me that, I'm like, what? Like, and he told me, he was like, well, yeah, you wasn't talking to me and blah 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 blah. So to me, in my mind, that was you cheated on me, because you know we do this, we break up to make up. We don't move on, right? So he told me he moved on. I instantly hopped up. I told my sister, I'm like, come on, we gonna take a ride. You riding or not? I told her what happened, and she was like, I don't think you should do that, right? I was like, I'm doing it. Come on, are you riding or not? So she was like, all right, come on. This is broad daylight. Once again, just FYI. So we ride. I grab a screwdriver out of my garage before I left, right? Because I knew my intentions was to go mess up his car. So I grab a screwdriver, right? Once again, like I said, we live 40 minutes from each other. So I drive to where he was at. His car was there, right? At this time, the car was on the street, or whatever, because he had like a little back alley where he could park his car in the back, or whatever, which was because this story time took place in two different like segments, right? Because I didn't mess up his car once, y'all. I didn't mess it up twice. I did it 3 times. 3. I know, I'm crazy. I know, but I'll tell y'all why it was 3 times, right? But I instantly got God don't like ugly, and so instantly God was like, no, we don't behave like that. And I'll tell y'all what happened at the end when how I got my karma, right? Instantly. So We hop up, we go. I'm telling her what happened. I'm doing a dash once again to where he live at or whatever. His car is, like I said, parked. I pull up, car parked. I was like, oh, boom. There go the car. It's parked on the street. Hop out. At first, when I was trying to, like, slash the tires, they wouldn't pop, right? And so I'm like, dang, like, it's not really working. It's not really working. So I was only able to get one tire, right? Got the one tire, hopped in the car, and might I add, just young and dumb, right? My car had personalized license plate. So my car said, I ain't gonna say the whole license plate, but it said something Juju on it. My whole name in broad daylight with a license plate. I didn't care though. When you young and that impulse running, it's just like, I don't care who see me, I don't care what happened. My heart is broken. So whatever comes of this comes of this. It's broad daylight, so I pop one tire, right? Drive all the way back. Me and my sister, we go eat. He's texting me. Me and him had got into an argument. So he when he told me that, I was like, okay. When he told me that information that he had been with somebody else, I was like, okay. Went, did whatever to his tires, came back, went to eat. He's texting me, blowing me up. I know you did this. I'm showing everybody the messages. They saying it's nobody but you. I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know. That's unfortunate. I have no idea what you're talking about. He was like, okay, that's okay, because I'm about to take it to the tire shop and get it fixed right now. Oh, that sent me, because my intentions was to inconvenience him to the third degree. Like, I knew, obviously, they're tires. You can get them fixed. But he wasn't supposed to be, remember I told y'all he would always ask me for money? He wasn't supposed to be able to get that tire fixed that quick. Like, it wasn't supposed to be that easy for him. So the fact that it was so easy for him to go get the tire fixed pissed me off. So, of course, we had to run that back, round 2, right? Keep in mind, I had drove all the way home. We lived 40 minutes from each other. I had drove all the way home. Later that night, I told my sister again, I'm like, come on, you riding or not? It's round 2, because it pissed me off how quick he was able to get that tire fixed, right? He probably used the other female's money to get it fixed or whatever the case may be, right? So I drive back down there again. I was so committed to trying to, like, mess up this dude's car. There was a Walmart down the street, and all I had was a screwdriver. There was a Walmart down the street, right? So my sister like, why don't you go in Walmart, see if you can get, like, a little pocket knife real quick? I'm like, okay, bet. I went to Walmart, try to get a pocket knife. I don't know if obviously it was God telling me, like, girl, don't do this. You don't do this. Couldn't Walmart, I don't remember why I couldn't get a pocket knife from there, but I couldn't get a pocket knife. Either, I know they had them. It was some reason as to why I couldn't get one, right? And I was of age I don't know if there's an age limit to buy pocket knives, but I was of age to buy one, but I just, for some reason, I couldn't get one. So I'm like, dang. I told her, I was like, we can't, it was something, I forgot what it was. I was like, dang, I still had the screwdriver though. I'm like, dang, I'm like, okay, we about to go run this back, see what I can do. I told you I had my, if y'all don't know, I believe in the Second Amendment. So I had my on me. So I was like, okay, well, F it. I'm going to just use the bottom of the thing, and I'm going to just break the windows. Pop, pop, pop. But at this time, right, keep in mind, y'all, like I said in the last StoryTime, he lived in the hood. So I'm trying to break, when the first thing happened, he put his car back in the alley, right? It wasn't on the street no more. He always parked on the street. But this time, when I went back, the car was in the alley. The alley where the car was parked in the alley, his bedroom window just so happened to be right above where the car was. So I'm like, dang, he moved his car. Now I gotta be real quiet and discreet, because if he hears anybody, he can hear somebody messing with his car where his car was parked at, right? So I'm trying to break the windows. Them windows was not trying to break. I'm hitting it as hard as I possibly can, quietly, of course, trying to be quiet. And they just would not break. They just would not break. And at that point, I'm like, okay, I couldn't do nothing to the car wasn't being vandalized, right? So that was my second attempt. But of course, young and impulsive, that wasn't sitting right with me. That was the fact that I couldn't do nothing to that man's car wasn't sitting right with me, right? Because I felt like you playing with my heart, you playing with my intelligence. So now I have to, like I said, I'm never the type to get my get back the same way dudes get they get back. Like, I'm not gonna go cheat on you to one up you. I'm not gonna go mess with somebody else to one up you. That lowers my value. So I'm not doing that. Being crazy lowers your value too, but at least I'm not opening my legs, right? So I'm like, all right. And once again, with the work schedule, I had to be at work. I think this one was 5 a.m. that I had to be at work. So while I'm doing this, it's late at this point. The second time was at nighttime, so it's late at this point. I had to be at work at 5 a.m. But of course, you know, when stuff like that happens, you can't sleep. Your mind is just racing. So I'm like, dang, I gotta go. I gotta get his car. Like, I gotta get it down, right? I gotta make sure his car is out of commission for at least a couple days, right? So I'm back at home now at this point after the second attempt. I had to be, this was probably like a Sunday, because the next day, Monday, I had to be at work at 5 a.m. And for me to get to work on time, I had to leave my house at like 3:30, 3:50, something like that, right? So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna swing by there. And he lived closer to my job, so it was easy. So I was like, okay, I told myself, okay, on my way to work, before I go to work at 5 a.m., because it'll be the wee hours in the morning, I'm gonna run back through there and I'm gonna try to run that back, right? So that's exactly what I did. My stupid self got up at like 1:30, 2 o'clock in the morning, once again off no sleep whatsoever, and I ran past his house before I went to work. This time I was able to get all 4 of them tires, because I don't know, the screwdriver just worked that time. I got all 4 of them, right? This time when I did it, and I was like, oh, when he wake up, he gonna be pissed. But this time, I don't know if he, looking back at it, because he messed with so many girls at one time, I don't think he truly know who did what, or like what it was. I think he just assumed that it was a girl, period. Well, obviously it was a girl, period, but he didn't know which girl it was, right? Because he was playing with everybody's emotions. So when that time had happened, I'm waiting at work all day for a response, like waiting for him to be pissed. So I know that he's seen it. Obviously he's seen it. He couldn't get in his car and drive, because I got all 4 of them, and I got them so good, the tires deflated instantly, all 4 of them, because you just hear all the air come out of all 4 of them at once, right? The whole day at work go by, nothing. He don't say nothing. So I'm like, dang, well, I know he's seen it. So when I got off work, now it was like, because I started work so early, I got off I think at like 1:30. So when I got off work, I was like, okay, let me run by there to see if the car's still sitting there, or if did he get it fixed again, right? I drive by there, the car's sitting on all 4 flats. I'm like, mission accomplished, period. Now I feel like, okay, now I feel satisfied, right? Then because he never said nothing, right? He never, still to this day, he never, about me doing it the second time, slashing the tires the second time, he never said anything like I know you did it. Like, he didn't do that again, right? Because I was taking that to the grave. So, well, to him at least, because now it's a funny story to tell, right? So, when I drove past there, I seen the car was sitting on all 4 flat tires. So I was like, okay, cool, mission accomplished, we good, job well done, right? On my way home, and this is why I'm bringing it back to, like, God don't like ugly. So when it comes to doing things that are malicious and you're intentionally, like, doing things to hurt somebody else or whatever, you never get away with it. You never get away with stuff like that, right? And because I'm a child of God, always have been, God ain't never played, I never played games like this, right? So I'm driving home. Once again, I live 40 minutes from my job. I live 40 minutes from everything, right? So I'm driving home. It's rush hour traffic. Now, because my schedule was always so crazy, I was used to, like, dozing off on the freeway. If y'all have ever worked crazy shifts or whatever and had a commute to work, dozing off, it's very dangerous, very, very dangerous, but it was a common thing for me. So I'm dozing off a little bit the whole way home. I make it off the freeway. Boom, hit somebody from behind. That same day that I slashed this man's tires, I get into a car accident and hit somebody. Not only did I get into a car accident, but it was 100% at fault of me. And I was under 25, so my insurance skyrocketed. And now I messed up. I had a Camaro at the time, so my car kind of slid under the person's car in front of me. It wasn't bad or nothing, like, it wasn't like totaled out or nothing, but it was for sure, the other person's car didn't really have no damage. But because Camaros are so low and my car slid, it was like an SUV, it slid under his. My whole front end was just messed up. Like, it was completely messed up. Like, it wasn't something that I could drive. Like, it was just completely messed up. So instantly I got my karma, and after that I was just like, okay, God, I won't do nothing else crazy. When I tell y'all that happened the same day, like, on my way home from slashing, well, I went to work first, but then on my way home, I got into a car accident, and immediately, and I knew what it was. I'm like, okay, God, you don't like ugly. I know I shouldn't have did that. I knew it was wrong. I knew my intent was bad doing it. And he like, I told you. And then not only did you wasn't satisfied with the first 2, but you went back a 3rd time to mess up this man's car. Now look, you got to a whole car accident, which was crazy. Like, yeah. And I haven't, to this day, I've never done anything that crazy. I've did like a pop-up or 2 in more recent days, but I haven't done anything like putting my hands on men or like trying to vandalize their cars or do anything like that, because like I said, I learned my lesson instantly, and you never win when you're dirty. And that was God's way of telling me, look, my daughter, we don't behave this way. This is so out of character for you, and you know better. And I did know better. I was just in my emotions and couldn't control them. So that's the story time. I know this one was short, y'all, because it was kind of like straight to the point. But that's that one time that I had like did that to a dude's car, and I instantly got my karma for it. When I tell y'all instantly, yeah, I'll never do it again. And I don't recommend that anybody else do it going forward, because like I said, you don't get away with stuff like that. Like, you're never gonna, it may satisfy you in the moment or whatever, but there's always gonna be something that comes from when you do something malicious intentionally, because God don't like ugly. And I learned my lesson, y'all. I haven't, like I said, I haven't done nothing crazy in some years. A pop-up or two, or maybe 3 or 4. But other than that, I ain't did nothing crazy like that since then, y'all. But anyways, that's this story time on how I had to get my little revenge. And that was the first and last time I've ever gotten revenge on anybody. Now I just let God is my vengeance, and I just let him take care of things, because that's the way that you should do it. And just y'all remember that out there. I thank y'all for watching. I'll be back, y'all. I'm out.